What's going on, pest control entrepreneurs? Welcome to another episode of the Pest Control Entrepreneur Show. I'm not sure if you're listening to this on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. If you're listening to it on a podcast platform, I don't know. So whether you're watching a clip or listening to a podcast episode, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing with you a super simple recruiting process that you can implement today to get either your first hire or hire your next person for whatever position you're needing. But before I jump into that, I've got to get better at saying, please support the channel. If you'll like, subscribe, share, comment, all that fun jazz, we would greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So before I share with you this simple recruiting process that I think is highly effective, that I actually learned from a good friend and business partner, I want to talk to you about this book called Systemology. Systemology is a great book. It's by David Jennings, and it says, create time, reduce errors, and scale your profits with proven business systems. This has been a great foundational book for me to have a baseline system in my pest control business to free up my time and to be able to delegate things and to enjoy pursuing other passions, hobbies, and interests and other business ventures. With all that being said, what I love about this book is they share a process that they call the critical client flow, which is essentially a process for getting customers, right? And the process looks like this. One, you got to get their attention, right? And then two, you've got to get inquiries. You've got to get them to engage with you. Three, you've got to sell them, right, on your products or service, which in this case, pest control would be our services. You've got to collect money, which usually a CRM does that. You've got to onboard the customer, which usually a CRM helps do that as well. And then you've got to deliver the service. And then you repeat the process. That's how you get customers, right? So if you have a baseline flow of that, things are great. Well, that process is exactly the same for recruiting employees. You need to grab their attention. You need to get them to engage with you, to be interested in that job position, right? You've got to sell them on that job position. You got to talk about the money that the compensation and benefits that they'll get. You've got to onboard them, and then you've got to deliver on a good employee experience. In my pest control company, our biggest focus is creating a phenomenal pest control experience for our customers. It should also be the same for our in-house employees because we want it to be an experience for them too. We want them to enjoy and love working here and for us to develop and grow them. Okay, enough said about that. So this is how I would implement a recruiting process that's super simple and highly effective that I hope you enjoy. So I would create a video, and I'll tell you what's going to be in the video in a second, but I want to tell you why you're going to do it this way. You're going to create a video and you're going to post it on Indeed. Of course, you can post it on Facebook and all these other platforms, ZipRecruiter, whatever. But I wanted to specifically talk about Indeed because the last time I checked, and again, take what I say with a grain of salt because it's been a while since I've hopped on Indeed. But the last time I checked on Indeed, it costs money to be able to post job listings and recruit people into your company. However, if you create a video and in the video, you tell somebody how to apply for that position, you're going to bypass that application process that costs you money to post that job on Indeed because you're telling them how to apply in the video and they can just follow those directions and email you directly without even having to deal with Indeed. Now that I said this, and if more people do this, who knows if Indeed will stop that. But last time I checked, it costs money. So this is going to bypass having to fork out any money for creating this company recruiting video. So this is what I would include in this video. Of course, like any video, I would have some kind of hook introduction. As you can see, like even with me with, the Pest Control Entrepreneur, I don't do any crazy hooks or whatever, a lot of fluff, just have some kind of intro. And then this is what you're going to do. You're going to show off and talk about the job position that they are applying for. For example, if they're applying for a technician, you're going to show that off. You're going to show like what their truck's going to look like, what equipment they're going to be using, maybe like what it looks like to spray, right? And keep this super brief, guys. This video does not have to be that long, like 3 to 5 minutes, if that. just keep it short and brief, but show off what it would look like to be a technician if that's the position you're hiring for. And I would talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the pros, the cons. Like, let them know, be completely transparent and genuine that, hey, sometimes you're out in hot, humid summers, and sometimes you're out in the cold, and sometimes, talk about all those things, because the whole purpose of this recruiting video is to be a filter. We're trying to filter out the people we don't want or that are not going to be a right fit for that position and our company. So we want to weed people out. I know some people are going to be like, oh man, if we go through this whole process that I'm about to tell you, you're going to be like, some people are going to be like, man, no one will ever, want to be hired because they're not going to put forth the effort to do that. Well, no, there will still be people in your recruiting pool, but not that many, which is a good thing because you filtered out all the crap, so to speak. Or I shouldn't say crap, just people that are not a right fit for your company, not that they're crap people. So let me rephrase that. Then the third, you're going to talk about the culture of the company, including your core values, what's important to you, and express that, because you want to bring people on that are going to align with those core values and those things that are important to you and your culture within your company. Number 4, you're going to talk about the vision and the direction of the company. Try to sell them on that a little bit and get excited about it and paint that picture for them of what you're trying to accomplish with your pest control company. And then, I actually didn't put this on my notes, but you should also talk about compensation, benefits, like what they get out of, working for you, right? Because they're going to want to know that. And you can keep it super brief, just highlight a few benefits and compensate your compensation package or whatever. Then you're going to tell them how to apply. I would do it something like this. Like at the end of the video, after you've shown all this stuff, you can say, now, if you're interested, send us your resume to, and then whatever your email is, right? However, if you're really, really interested, not only send us a resume, but send us a video response to these questions, a brief video response to these questions. And you don't have to use these questions I'm about to share with you. These are just what I picked. There's a lot of different ways you could do this, but I like to keep things simple. And these questions, I feel like, tell me enough about that person to make an educated decision of whether or not they're going to go further in the hiring process, if that makes sense. So here's the questions. 1, how do you feel you'll be able to contribute to our team? Like, basically, how would you be an asset to our team, right? Because this is not just a one-way street where they're like trying to get anything and everything out of, getting hired on. We as business owners also want to hire people that are a right fit for us. This is an interview process for both parties. Okay. So it's not, gosh, I don't even know if I'm making sense, but it's an interview process for both parties. Okay. So you're trying to figure out whether or not these people are a right fit for your team. So you don't want to hire out of desperation or need, which I have done plenty of times without having a recruiting process, and they didn't pan out. And man, I wish I would have just followed a recruiting process. So please have a recruiting process. Second question, what are you looking forward to most if you were hired? And then the third question, what do you enjoy doing for fun? Now, again, you don't have to use these questions, but this is what I like to use. So that's it. That's the whole recruiting process. Just create a video talking about the job position, your company culture and everything. And in fact, you can do this for all job positions in your company. You can have the same video. The only thing that you would make different is the specifics about the job position you're hiring for. And because you would want to show that off a little bit so they know what they're getting into and be completely transparent. And this is it. Slap it up on Indeed, Facebook, whatever. And they will email you or do video attachments directly to your email. So you'll have a recruiting pool. I know, so one of my business partners does this exact same process, and he doesn't even look. If he looks in the emails and he sees a bunch of people had applied, right? If there's no video attachment, he doesn't even look at them. That's one way you can filter it out. But if you're like super desperate, right? And you're like, oh, none of these guys filled out videos, but there's people with resumes, maybe. But what I like about this process is it weeds a lot of people out because they have to figure out how to follow instructions, right? Because they have to listen to the instructions of the video. They have to figure out how to apply. They have to figure out how to upload a video and send it to you, right? If they're really interested. and they have to watch the whole video, because if they don't watch the whole video, then they're not going to know how to apply. So it just weeds out a lot of people. So I hope you guys found this valuable. This is a process that I use along with just, reaching out to people in my network, because I know a lot of business owners, and I just say, hey, I'm looking for a guy. I'm looking for a technician to spray pest control. Do you guys know of anybody? And sometimes I get good referrals that way. So, you can always start with your network, but this is a super simple recruiting process that you can always have going on in the background, so that you're building up a pool of potential candidates to hire from. So for whenever you need them. I hope you found this valuable. If you did, please like, share, all that fun stuff. But if you know of anything that you would like to add to this, or maybe you know of another recruiting process, comment below. I'd love to share your feedback. This whole channel is for supporting people that want to be pest control entrepreneurs. We're trying to help give back to this community. I personally started a pest control business to be my stepping stone to build my wealth, my financial freedom, to have more time to pursue hobbies, interests, and spend time with my family. If you are a solo operator and that's all you want to be, you might get some value from this channel still, of things that would benefit you, especially some simple systems that would also maybe free you up a little bit. However, this channel is not for you. I'm trying to help people that want to become pest control entrepreneurs, people that don't want to be solo operators, people that don't want to own a job. They actually want to own a business because they're entrepreneurs and they want to pursue other ways of, doing business or building wealth. That's why I did it, dude. I have a lawn care business. I'm involved in a cannabis business. I've got a dozen rental properties. I'm always constantly doing rental transactions. I've got another podcast that makes a few $100 a month that, I've partnered with somebody else on that's growing that brand. Like, it's just a lot of fun to be a pest control entrepreneur, guys, because I have a lot more time and freedom to be with my family, to go on vacations, to pursue these other interests. And that's who we're trying to help. We're trying to help the people that want to be pest control entrepreneurs. That's enough of my soapbox. I hope you found this episode great. I don't know if you're watching on YouTube or whatever, you can see all my facial expressions or whatever. If you don't want to see my face, just listen to it on, Spotify or Apple Podcast. Until next time, again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Jake Ingledew out.